Greetings, everybody. Welcome back. In this session, we are going into Chapter 7, Resolving Conflict. And the first video is going to talk about growth through adversity. So conflict, adversity is normal in life, and it's normal in close relationships as well, especially the day in, day out, year in, year out of a marriage. There's a scripture in Psalm 51, verse 6, kind of sums up what God's after for our lives. It says, "Behold, you desire truth in the inner being. Make me therefore to know wisdom in my inmost heart." So Lord, in my inner being, in my inmost heart, I want to know wisdom. I want to know truth. And so God desires wholeness for our lives. He desires depth. He desires that we be rooted and grounded in Him. And so to do that, He has to sometimes dig a little bit in our heart, in our soul, to establish His presence, His kingdom. And so the thing we want to avoid is we want to avoid, being plateaued, right? Or when you hit a plateau, you kind of stop moving, stop making progress. And I coined a phrase a while back that plateaus are dangerous. Plateaus are dangerous because though it feels good to stop and rest for a while, if we make it an extended stay, plateaus basically enable the enemy to know where you are. He'll just know your location if that's where you're staying all the time. And so the failure to move or advance in God's kingdom can be a dangerous place indeed. In adversity, we are to grow through adversity, and I like to say it this way, that adversity serves as sort of a depth gauge. A depth gauge kind of lets us know where we're at in life. And so pressing circumstances or people, situations, injustices, deficiencies in people, all different kinds of factors press in on us in life. And what they end up doing is revealing what's inside of us. I like how the old saint, the author Thomas A. Kempis, describes it in his book, The Imitation of Christ. He says, how great our virtue is, really is determined by occasions of adversity. Occasions of adversity do not make a man frail or weak, but show what he is. I kind of paraphrase that quote there. So basically, the things that happen around us in life, or the people that are pressing on us in life, or bothering us in life, they're really not the problem. But it's really what we are inside, how we are responding to hardship when it comes in our lives. And so on that note, I have coined another phrase that marriage is revelatory. It does reveal more to yourself of what you're like as you continue to live with one person in close quarters for a long time. Now, there's a passage of scripture that's really pretty famous and well known in the book of James, chapter 1, and that scripture says, "Count it all joy when you encounter trials of various kinds, because the testing of your faith works perseverance or patience, and perseverance has to finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." And so, of all the places where God's going to work that muscle in our lives, that faith muscle, that perseverance, it makes sense that in our marriage it's going to be a primary place, right? Because we're with each other a lot, and doing life together in all kinds of various contexts. And so it's also true that above ground conflict in a marriage can be minimized if each individual spouse is taking care of inner conflicts. So there's certain things that I'm wrestling with on the inside of myself that just have to do with me, my character, and my areas of growth in my life. If I deal with those first, then the above ground conflict with my wife or my children or other family members or people in my church or whoever will be a lot easier to navigate when I'm dealing with the issues inside of myself. I recall a moment a few years ago, it happened where I was here in our house and I was having a time of prayer back in our bedroom, and really a sweet time of reading scripture, just praying. I felt close to the Lord. And I went out to the kitchen to get something, and when I walked out there, Anne opened up a cupboard door, and I got in right in my way, and all of a sudden, from within me, there erupted this kind of rageful anger, just came up like, and I said something unkind, and I was like, wow, how did I go from a time of prayer, feeling so strong in the Lord, to, once I was nudged or poked, something else came out. And so I felt, of course, very much like a hypocrite. Like, what kind of a husband am I? What kind of a man of God am I? I just come out of prayer and I react like that. So grace, right? We all grow through these things, but the important thing is to prayerfully ask the Lord, like, where did that come from? Why did that bother me the way that it did? And so every spouse is going to stumble at times, and give grace to your spouse, give grace to yourself. I like the way that authors Gary and Betsy Rakucci kind of put it. They say, one of the best wedding gifts God gave you was a full-length mirror called your spouse. And had there been a card attached, it would have said, here's to helping you discover what you're really like. Little humorous, got a laugh here and there along the way, but it's so true. Marriage is revelatory, and dating is one thing, engagement, wedding, honeymoon, it's all one thing. But then when you start living together over the course of, months and years and decades, there's things that are revealed to you about yourself or about your spouse, and that's the opportunity to partner together under further growth and maturity. So thanks for joining me. In the next session, we're going to look at specific ways that we choose to handle conflict. God bless you.